Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing good. And yeah, I'm here, guest on Puppets Corner, and I wish you a great time.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a new episode of Poppets Corner, and I'm thoroughly excited to start off this particular episode with bringing on the alumni on the show, Mr. Erik Kluiber, formerly of a bunch of killer bands, which I gotta rock this one today. So yeah, with the Iron Knots, but you are currently, and congratulations again. I haven't talked to you since getting into the project and whatnot, but you're now the new guitar player of Society One. So congratulations, Erik.
Thanks, Tanner. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm the new guy.
And of course, Mr. Shannon Fry is joining. Shannon, thank you very much for coming on the show, and we all get to talk some shop. So let's just dig right into it, man. You guys ready?
All right.
All right. So Erik, for you, personally, I'm just kind of curious. Give us the scoop of how you got involved with Society One, because it's a completely different style of metal than what you're used to playing. So,
I was really down on my luck, Tanner, and I was about to quit music. I was not in a band again, and I was just wondering if there was any future in music for me at all, or if the writing was on the wall and I should just quit. And I was going pretty heavy. I was leaving Las Vegas style Nicolas Cage, drinking heavy. It's like when I wasn't working, I'd just be drinking. And that's just how I was handling it, and just pondering, during that time. And my girlfriend said, "Are you aware of Society One?" I said, "Yes, I am aware of Society One. And I have been aware of them for a long time. And they're looking for a guitar player," she tells me. "They're going on a good tour. You should check it out." And I was so down in the dumps, like I kind of had to be talked into even considering thinking about it, But I wasn't that fucked up, so I thought about it. And she even went out and said, "Are you still looking for someone?" Because they're going out on tour. I think they even mentioned that they were going out with Static X, Fear Factory, and Dope, I think, which is a huge fucking tour. I mean, I can't even believe that it was still an opportunity. And I was like, you know what? If they're looking for somebody, I should really go for this. And if I'm going to go for this, I got to do it right and go hard. And sure enough, another fortunate thing was that they responded back, "Yes, we're looking for someone. It's still open." Because I figured it was this old post. This is old news, and the slot had probably been filled months ago, and I'd missed it. So anyway, I knew that if you're going to do it, any opportunity in LA, you got to go right then and there. So I was like, I was actually on vacation. All this, it was like tragedy struck right before I had this vacation planned with my folks and stuff like that. So it was like two combining forces. Like I'm at a lake house, like with my folks and stuff, and it's all like family and stuff like that. And I'm down in the dumps, like pondering my future and basically giving up, it's like, this is not going to happen. And then, so we got back, and I immediately just like figured out what they needed for the audition and learned it note for note, without asking for too much. Like, I wanted to show that, okay, I see what you're looking for, learn these songs, and then submit a video audition. And I didn't want to just do it in my apartment, which you see right here, because it's just it just didn't have the right vibe for what they were playing, and also I got to say, I had to consider it and like take the music in and let it grow on me and see if like how I felt about it. I was like, this is cool, man. Like I should fucking do this, not just because it's here, but all the planets aligned. And so I learned the stuff. I rented a room at Amp Rehearsal up in North Hollywood. nothing special, but it just looked better. And then what was funny is I asked my girlfriend to come along, and just because she kind of likes the whole fucking scene and shit. She used to like interview bands. Like some people would find that annoying. Like, no, I'm not going to come up with you and watch you make an audition video. Like that sounds like a chore. That sounds terrible. But she was excited to do it. Actually, she just thought the whole thing was cool, you know. And like I said, she was just like, wake up, you know, just kind of like throwing water on my face, essentially, you know. Like I can't express like how important, without her like really encouraging me even to just pull my head up, I completely would have just not even noticed this. Or it took like, dude, wake up, get out of your funk, you know. Because I was this beaten fucking dead dog, dude, just laying in the gutter, just like I'm done, you know, take me away. Fucking pathetic. But anyway, that's how I was. It's like what's it called? The Warrior, that wrestling movie. Is that what it was? With Mickey Rourke. And dude, my fucking neighbor has a problem with me talking. Then she can just fuck right off. That's a whole other fucking thing. But anyway.
That's probably why you couldn't do the audition there.
Oh, that would have never happened, right? So anyway, what was I telling you? I got a little bit of, dude, I can't believe this. But anyway, that's a whole nother set of circumstances. Well, like, so, okay, anyway, so I did the audition. This is what led to me to do it. And she was there. It was fortunate because I forgot my tripod, like this little piece that like adds to the camera, connects it to, so she was my tripod and held it there. I did the fucking video audition, and it looked pretty good and it sounded great. And then they called me the next day, and then from there I did a live audition. But that's what led me on the path. Kind of a long story.
I actually really liked the new song that came out, The Fight Within, and I was like taken aback because when I hear the term new metal, I don't think of that style of music. It was more kind of industrial kind of stuff, which I dig. I like the Rammsteins and the, you know, Combi Christs and whatnot. So it's like, but I'm generally curious when you were putting your specific spin on that particular track, and I get it, we're branching off into so many different territories. It's just how the show is. But what did you want to bring that differently to the band that maybe that they weren't looking for at the time, and then eventually kind of it's like, oh, this could work?
Okay, well, Matt, the singer Matt Zane, asked me to write a solo, and so what I'm hearing is not a finished product, and I'm hearing he gives me a section that there's going to be a solo, and I heard what I heard in my head, what I thought would fit, and he liked it. So that's it's kind of a leap of faith, and to see if they say yes or no. I want something totally different, but he was fucking digging it. So it seems like it was meant to be, man. There's a lot of things about it. Also, I guess Matt has been, I don't know his whole history, but he's been kind of like had his ups and downs as well. We seem to like go through a lot of similar life experiences regarding music, you know, with the highs and the lows. But for what I have to offer, I had some leads that they seemed to that helped the songs. They didn't normally have my type of leads in the tunes, and a drummer, Dagan, was totally into it, you know, and he put his drum solo underneath it, which was unexpected for me. Like when I was doing it, there was just like I think there was just programmed drums underneath it. You know, it was a template, you know, with the rhythm guitar and the bass. And then so they made that section totally very solo-ish. Right. Both drums and guitar was a section, spotlight section.
And I noticed the drummer either played to the drums, meaning like on your solo section, or he played to your solo, whatever.
He might have played to me because those drums were not there when I recorded it.
So right, and not to cut you off, but where I'm getting with this is like it seems like you're valued more in this band than other bands that you've been in just right out of the gate, which is amazing.
They've been nothing but fucking super cool and stoked to have me be part of it, you know? And I guess, I mean, I was like kind of pumped up, and like the challenge of getting in the band, and it's fast paced, got to work really quickly, and up for the challenge. So far so good.
It seems like at first you may have been uncomfortable with this particular sound, or I don't know your history when it comes to like this style of metal per se, but it seems like you're more comfortable just going with, you know, throughout the days of playing with Society One and just learning how the band works and how the styles work and the fans work, and it just seems like you're more comfortable sitting here today talking with us, you know? Is
Well,
that fair to
I've got something new to talk about, you know. I haven't gone on tour. I haven't even played my first show with them. All of this has been prep work, and it's a different thing where we get together for like 1 week, and we'll have 4 or 5 days set aside, and it'll be like photo shoots and video shoots and band rehearsal. So that is a different method than I'm used to, and which has been kind of cool and exciting, you know, a little bit stressful. And you just got to be able to hold your end of the bargain up, you know? And so the first show is going to be on the 22nd on Wednesday.
And
Wednesday, sorry, February 22nd, if I missed that. Go ahead.
Right. We'll get to all the dates and when I'm just generally curious. So with all of your with all your experience in music in general, did it prep you to, you know, to this moment? Did you learn on kind of like what to do and what not to do, and then get to this now new level? This is a whole new level in terms of like the band is now, you know, they've been around a long time. They've, you know, several records. You know, you're going on this massive tour, and hopefully more massive tours will follow. But is this the first time in your specific career where it's like, yeah, you know what work to put in to get to this level of a band?
Well, I've been in this situation many times, you know. I've been in a lot of good bands, and then the bands, those situations fell apart for all kinds of different reasons. So I know how to learn a band's material, you know, and show up for an audition and kill it. So I don't know if it was that different. But then again, I mean, having done this so many times, I mean, I knew what to do, that's for sure. To show up, to know my shit, you know, to get right to it, to submit that video audition, which I took like 20 minutes to fucking talk about. Sorry.
And right out of the gate though, you guys have a new song, a new video, hopefully an album to follow. I don't know where any new material as far as that end goes.
Yeah, I don't know everything either, you know, because I wrote and demoed one solo. He's like, that's really cool. Can you do 2 more? So I'm like, all right, that's a good sign that they like what I'm doing. So I did that. And those songs have not been mixed. Like, I don't hear the songs until they're done. And so we got a new song coming out, God to You. That'll be next week on the 18th. And so what I'm getting at is all of these things are happening on, like, not on the fly, but I'm just looking at one project at a time. So I don't know the big picture if there's going to be a big album down the line, but I know that there's going to be 4 songs are recorded and will be released at some point, and 2 of them are going to be out before the tour, and then we'll do the tour. I know that Matt's looking to do more shows, and maybe even a suspension, including one of his suspensions where he hangs from meat hooks. And they're going to be filming it. They're going to be filming this movie the entire time. They've already filmed some of it, which is like from their previous adventures on the road, and then like interviews with people now, and then the tour will work in with it. So there's some pretty exciting things in the pipeline, and don't know the exact like planning of it, which is kind of exciting, you know.
And when you initially were auditioning for Society One, did they tell you kind of what they were looking for in a player, or I mean, again, because you're a seasoned vet when it comes to, you know, to just being professional, did they mention any of this? Or were you just kind of...
Yeah. Yeah, they had this casting call and with all kinds of different people, and I was curious, you know, how many people came out, and you definitely get a lot of people who don't have their shit together, that have unrealistic expectations of what this is at all. And some of that could just be, oh man, you know, it's obviously not the 80s or the 90s or the early 2000s and the glitz and the glamour. I mean, everything is so scaled down, and you have to be able to hang with it. So yeah, I think they liked that I came in and had my shit together and was able to play with them, to jam, you know?
And I'm assuming with all of this, okay, go ahead.
What's that, Shannon?
What was it to you? Did it feel like a natural process, or was it something you had to work yourself up to do? And
Okay.
being that you're such a badass player, like that transition from the old band to this new one, I mean, it's quite a drastic change in styles.
It is. So let me try to address that. Like, musically, that was kind of business as usual. That's like play the songs, learn the songs, memorize the songs, get a good video of it. And what else? Now, I will say that one of the things is they have an image that I've never done before. And that was like, he's like, hey man, you're going to have to, this is part of the band and this is how it is. It's very very frank about it, very matter of fact about it. You're going to have to get some clothes that fit in with this style. He gave some suggestions, and it was kind of up to me to like get some shit that worked, you know, which that was pretty challenging, because I had to like hunt down clothes. And like, there's not that many rock and roll stores anymore. There used to be a lot more, and to find some stuff like that just didn't look cheesy, and that wasn't just for kids. I mean, you go in some of the stores, and really all they're selling are like just print T-shirts, you know, or like hoodies and shit like that. That's not what they're looking for, you know. Find some stuff that fit. That's not easy, right? You know, like I think there's a lot of the stuff that they sell is just so fucking small, man. So anyway, yeah, that was difficult, and we had to get photo shoots and that. Like, I'd send it to me, like, hey, I found this, and what do you think, you know? And that was new for me. I've never had to do that before. Like, I'm like lining up, like wearing these clothes and sending them pictures and just letting them know, hey, I'm looking for like clothes that are going to fit the image. You know,
so these are your GQ pictures, your GQ magazine,
GQ, gothic new metal industrial fucking, you know, pictures. Sure. You know?
Now, going off of Shannon's point though, with the new clothes, I'm assuming you had to get all new equipment, all new amps and pedals and things of that nature to fit in with the sound too, or were they providing you with the sound for like a big giant tour like this? Okay.
So it was interesting because, like, man, I've had a rig for so long. It's the greatest rig, this Marshall rig, but it became unreliable over the last year, and I tried to get it fixed, and it would break down again. I'm still going to take it to a different tech because it's like such a good sounding amp. But anyway, all my gear was really beat up, and I had to get a wireless unit, which and get one that didn't suck. A lot of those wireless units will drop out, and so yeah, that was the thing. And to get it all to work, it's still like an organic band, meaning like drums, guitar, bass, singing, you know, and they use like samples and the drummer plays to a click. But as far as like what I'm doing, I didn't have to, like, I do actually have a Line 6 Helix, which I was looking into, but like I wasn't just feeling it. And but I think you use something, that you use a Kemper Tanner, like a Kemper or a Line 6 or something along those lines, and it's something I wouldn't mind looking into in the future. But like, oh dude, I did end up getting a whole new rig, but it was still like it's like an Engel amp, you know, a head, which, you know, some other bands I played with, I always thought those sounded pretty good. And I'm still in my same cabinet, and like pretty simple pedal design. You know, I am using a wah. This band uses a wah. You know, I use a phaser. I chose that because just like some of the sounds just seem to fit in. And still got my boost. It's a pretty simple thing, but I did have to like, I had to get a 7-string guitar because that song, The Fight Within, is 7-string. I had to learn how to play 7-string guitar too.
Okay, so you're learning. That's amazing. So you're learning new techniques even at this stage in the game. And again, they're at. I mean, this band to me is at the next level, and I think this is well deserved for you, man. I'm super happy for you. I just can't express it any other way than that. Like, I'm stoked to get a chance to support you and see you take that next level and just kick ass for metal's sake. And I regarding the equipment aspect, it's like, I'm generally curious if they gave you like the tones that they would use on the albums for the shows, or is it just like, hey, you get a rig that would kind of match what we're going for?
It wasn't too much guidance, but I do feel like if what I had wasn't working or sounded like shit, they wouldn't have a problem with letting me know. So I went through and I got, the Angle amps. It's great. It sounds heavy. It sounds solid. I do like playing in a one guitar band because it's always such a fucking problem mixing 2 guitars. So that's very cool. It's a cool, like, God, has every band I've been in that was serious been a 2 guitar band? I think it has. So when I was playing in Scattered Hamlet, which was like when you and I did like my discography or whatever, you might have asked me questions. I was like a fill-in guitar player for Scattered Hamlet, and that was 1 guitar. But that was, I was a fill-in guitar player. So I do like playing in a 1 guitar player band because the mix seems to just be a lot more simple.
Well, not only that, but and by the way, I think Ironaut was a 1 guitar player band.
But I was playing bass.
You're playing bass. But I think you as a player probably have more control of the sound as a 1 guitar player band per se. And how do you fill in the sound knowing that you've played in so many 2 guitar player bands? How do you round out the sound for a band of this at this level now?
Yeah, it sounds thick, and I will say that we do rehearsals that the rehearsal rooms themselves are somewhat leave a lot to be desired, and we're kind of preparing for that because being an opening band on this tour, we're not gonna even get a sound check most of the nights, so we kind of prepare ourselves for the worst. And rather than getting comfortable with like dialing in a perfect sound, which I do love to just jam in a lockout when the sound is actually good and you can hear everything and everyone, that's awesome. But we kind of challenge ourselves that way to kind of prepare for things that are not going to be ideal. And it's more like, let's get like a live sound that we know is good on our end. So if the sound guy is working it, then it should be good in the front of house. Of course, you know how that is not always guaranteed, but that's rock and roll, right? The sound on stage for the musician is not guaranteed, and neither is it for the audience, but you just do your best to like have it on a pro level. And like to be, one of the things about it is like getting this new gear is like, I had to set it up and tear it down fast. That's part of the practice as well, right?
And can we venture into the writing aspect for this band? Are you comfortable talking about like with what you contribute writing wise, or has that not been established yet with Society 1?
Just 3 solos. I came in and we had to quickly do an announcement. Hey, we got a new guitar player. It's going to be, once they determined it was me, that was cool. I was like stage 1, and they were going to do a photo shoot. Like, we got a new guitar player. It's this guy. Maybe you know, maybe you don't, but he's the dude. And then actually at the same time, then hey, this is one of our songs. I want to go in and record these tunes, throw it down to solo, and then I ended up recording 3 solos, but that's it. And so I don't even know for the other songs. I haven't heard the vocals. I don't know what they're called. Maybe they had working titles at one point. So that's it. That's very different for me. It is. It's like a little bit of a surprise. It's a surprise when it comes out because I don't know how it's going to could be chopped up and rearranged and remixed. Like I said, The Fight Within, when I laid that solo down, it was, I think, just a drum beat, just like that, just like a driving drum beat, and it ended up being, a drum solo underneath, and then the rhythm guitar was all gone. I was like, whoa, that's completely different. Yeah. that's it for now. And then in the future, we'll see, man. Like I love being creative and being a part of it. You know, right now I'm just like catching up, and you know, there was like getting all my end together, and now it's rehearsing with the band. And actually, after I get done talking with you, I'm actually going to run through this set on my own. There's a lot of that, you know. I'm just trying to get through this tour, and then after that, after this tour, I would love to see more performances and get an opportunity to be part of the creative process, whether that's just submitting riffs or I don't exactly know. And that's also, it's kind of cool, man. It's like part of like this whole experience is just like, I can't believe I'm still in a band. It's actually awesome, you know, but just like, just keeping my head above water and just like, wow, where are we now? Like, oh wow, I'm on the road again. This is fucking great, you know?
I think you leveled up tremendously. Maybe you haven't thought of it that way, but to me, it's like it's like I said, I'm really excited. I'm really happy for you, because just knowing that how much work you fucking have put in to
like a never-ending.
In general. Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like, you know, it's well deserved. I don't think anybody's gonna argue that point. You know, maybe Shannon, he might argue with me.
Fuck you.
So,
but are they going to allow you to do your Yngwie Malmsteen kicks?
I bet they'd love that. I'd have to start doing some stretching, man. Yngwie is the king. Dude, I always call him the rock and roll or the shred Elvis, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Yngwie's style. I got a chance to see him. It was over this summer, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
So, going off of the tour, has the prep been different this time around than all the other times? Is there a different aspect, a different element that you now have to focus more on compared to the other tours that you've done?
Yeah. So we have just been going over this set, and when we get together, we practice this multiple times of just running the set until you physically run out of energy. And there's like a little bit of stage moves and stuff like that was never really worked on before in my previous acts like that, you know, just trying to like really condense I think Matt was explaining it, an arena rock show within just like a 30-minute opening set, you know, just trying to provide the most bang for the buck that you can, you know. It's super condensed. And so that's different, you know, but it is, what I do want to stress is that it's also actually very cool is there's a lot of just organic, this is an organic rock band in multiple levels, even though they play this like industrial style of music that has the click track and these samples and things like that. It still is like real guitar, bass, drums, vocals. So it's a good like cyborg relationship, perhaps.
Well, talk a little bit about the tour, and let's help promote what you got coming up. So go for it. It starts, I believe, in February 22nd. You're doing a couple shows and then hitting the road kind of soon after that. So explain the whole tour for people.
Yeah, so it is the Rise of the Machines tour, and Static X, Fear Factory, and Dope, and Us Society One opening the show. And then on quite a few of the shows, I believe Mushroom Head is going to be on it too. So that's just going to be jam-packed. And we'll open the shows for those as well, you know. And it starts like that. The big tour starts in San Francisco on the 25th, and we're doing 2 warm-up shows. My first show will be February 22nd at the Whiskey, which actually is like I'm a little nervous about. You know, I was kind of looking forward to having a warm-up show out of town away from my friends, and I could come back and do a show when I'm all seasoned. But my first show will be in front of all my friends. They're going to be like this. And obviously other people too, but you know what I'm saying? Like that'll be, kind of just thrown into the fire, and we'll do that. And then we'll play. I'm glad that we get another warm-up show. These are all great clubs in Fresno, which is on its way on the 24th. The tour actually starts on the 25th in San Francisco. It'll work itself up the West Coast and actually get up to Vancouver. That show is sold out. I played the Rickshaw Theater in my first big tour ever when I was in White Wizard, and we were opening for Corpaclani and Tyr. And and then Gypsy Hawks played the Rickshaw Theater too. That's a interesting part of Vancouver, man. It's in Chinatown, and the theater itself is great, man. But yeah, it's like it's literally heroin zombies everywhere around there. And it's like The Walking Dead, and they're all just like in this haze, and it's surreal. You got to see it to believe it. But anyway, okay, so like up there and then back down the West Coast, and then scoot over kind of Arizona, like Albuquerque, Texas. Like probably do there's quite a few shows in Texas, just like every tour, because you got to get through it. But what I'm looking forward to is getting over to the East Coast, because I just don't get to be there much. We're actually going to play like Florida, Atlanta, I think North Carolina, wind itself up to Philadelphia, and that'll be our last show. I wish we could go more, because the next show is like in New York City, and I've got some friends that haven't seen me since, I believe, the White Wizard days or forever ago, and they're like, oh man, so our last show is going to be March 18th in Philadelphia, and that'll be this run.
Have there been talks about taking this kind of tour package either to Europe or other parts of the world, or is it just focused on the States right now?
Right now
in Canada,
our portion is what I just told you, and then the Static X Fear Factory Dope Tour, the Rise of the Machines, will continue. And that happens quite a bit, where it's not always, and especially for the opening bands, we are the opening bands, those will come off like for the legs of the tour, right? And we'd be like the first leg, and I don't know how many there are. If there's just 2, there could be 3. And but I would love for this to somehow get over to Europe. That'd be fantastic, man. But so one step at a time, you know, like this is all
right.
Work up into this. And kind of like a lot of like pretty cool, pretty good promotion of getting people, hey, Society 1 is back, and we're going on this great tour, and here's a new song to get you pumped up, and another new song is going to drop next week on the 18th, and then the week after that, then the tour happens. So, and then they're filming this movie that they're also doing, so like they've been talking about that as well. Like there's some clips of it on YouTube.
Dude, so you're fucking busy, man, with this project right out of the gate. It's like you like literally just, I mean, God, what is it? What hit the ground running? It's literally just, and it's interesting.
Kind of unheard of. It's super unheard of.
But it's interesting that it literally came out at a time when you were the most down, and now you're like the opposite. It's just fucking weird how that works. And like I said, I'm really happy to hear this.
Thanks,
stuff.
Man. It's kind of storybookish, you know. It's almost cheesy how it worked out, you know. But that being said, I can't like. It's all been prep, like the tour, the shows, the real work's about to start. Now gotta go to battle, you know.
Well, for sure, you know, for Shannon and myself, I'm sure he's got more questions. So I'll let I'll give it the ball to him.
Man.
But speaking for the both of us, I can thoroughly say, like keep going. We are excited for you. We can't wait to support you even further, and not even have to worry about everything that happened in the past. Now it's like this new fucking killer thing, dude. So anyway, Shannon, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Shannon.
Well, when you're talking about how you're at your lowest point to now on the other side of that bridge, since I've been there quite a few times, man, that's quite an obstacle. Was that hard for you to overcome? I mean, how long of a process was that between bands?
2 weeks, which is unheard of. Like I thought it was going to be 2 years or forever, you know. Because, everything went to shit for me. And I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. You know, here I am. And I was just, I was pissed. I was just bummed out. I was just depressed. I was like, what's the world trying to tell me? And I just thought for sure where I'm at in life, that was it. You know, that was my last shot. And, maybe if you're lucky getting a cover band or something, like it's just done, dude. And And what really sucked about it wasn't like on my own terms. It was like, but then, wow, this opportunity, once, like I said, I went for it, and then the timing worked out. And I definitely stressed, like, what was so important was not kind of pushing it off. It was either do it or don't. Mm-hmm. And like I literally came home and learned those songs within like a couple days, and I still got my normal life going on, but it's like, I mean, I got my shit together. I rented the space, I wanted it to look cool. I didn't like even put that off, I wanted to make sure that after I got in touch that I got something in these guys, I want to say hands, but it's just email, as soon as possible. So I kind of could show them that I was fucking serious about it, because how many people reach out and then you never hear, or you forget about them. They don't know me, by the way. This is all new people to me. Mm-hmm. I didn't have any friends in this camp, so I was able to. It was important to me to show that I was serious, and then he called me back, and then I did a live audition with just a different drummer at the time, actually, man, and but he wanted to do it live, and then I got the gig because they are also like needing to move,
Again, everybody out there listening on how to be a professional, you listen to this man. So, Erik, I want to seriously thank you so much for coming on the show and hanging with us, and all the best to the new project that you're in, and hopefully we can again do this more and more and more, and just keep supporting you, man. But where can people
Tanner.
Again? Tell us all about tell us when the tour starts. Give us all that spiel again, and where people can support Society One and you specifically.
Okay, well, the tour starts on the 25th to March 18th. It's the Rise of the Machines tour. Society One, that's who I'm playing guitar for, and we're opening for Static X, Fear Factory, Dope, Mushroom Head on like half the shows, or quite a few of the shows. Look for that. We got some warm-up dates. Come on out to the Whiskey on a Wednesday, February 22nd. See my first show with them. If you live in Fresno, we're playing Thursday. We're playing Friday, the 24th of February. That's like, I mean, these days, I'm just like 2 weeks away. Yeah. Getting a hold of the band, Society One on TikTok, Society One on Instagram, Society One on Facebook. Those are the main ones. Those three platforms I say are the main ones. There is a society1.com, but like I'd say like those three platforms, once again, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook are the main ones being pushed for news and photos and stuff to click on. The YouTube page, Society One YouTube page, and it's the number one, Society number one. Me personally, I'm Erik Kluiber, Erik with a K. Hopefully my name's somewhere on this. Podcast interview, you can find me on Facebook. Honestly, is the easiest way to just, my profile's not hidden or anything. I do Instagram, but not as much. So like if you message me there, I might not see it for like a couple weeks. I keep it simple. I mean, yeah, I'd keep it like that, and that's how to get a hold of me.
I love it. Well, Erik, like I said, I always appreciate a moment of your time and appreciate you coming on, hanging with us. And of course, Mr.
Congratulations on that gig too. Congratulations.
Thanks,
and
Shannon.
hope the tour kicks ass for you. And
Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
man.
Absolutely. And we're excited and can't wait to support you even further. But yes, congratulations, Mr. Erik Kluiber. You deserve it. And for another episode of Popper's Corner, guys, we're out of here. Cheers.